Owensboro Fire Department, we're here with the 3rd crew today. Battalion Chief Coulter Tate is our training officer, and he's running us through some vehicle extrication drills. We're able to get some cars that are pretty smashed up that we can use, which you really need for realistic training. Today what we're doing is a crawl-through method. A lot of times, general extrication training, you would be popping doors or trying to go through the front or the top of the vehicle. That's not really an option if you have a drive-under situation where the vehicle or the extrication is going to have to occur as driven up under a trailer of a tractor trailer. It could have driven up under the front of a large vehicle, such as a train, or it could be some other standalone structure that's not even another vehicle, just based on the way that different accidents happen. So Tate is he's a very hands-on instructor. He's inside the vehicle right now with firefighter Chad Johnson. What we're doing is going through the back, so we had to take the back door off to gain access. They took a seat out in the back. We're using what the public calls the jaws of life. We have spreaders, we have cutters, we have reciprocal saws that we can use. We have a lot of tools at our disposal. He's showing us a lot of the hazards that you're going to come across with vehicle extrication. Showing us how pertinent it is to dig into the upholstery to kind of see where you might have wires, you might have airbags, things that are meant to protect you in the event of an accident, but things that are going to kind of be in our way or be hazards when we actually are there to respond to the accident scene. We have a patient in this scenario that's pinned under the steering wheel, which would not be an uncommon thing whenever you have a drive under, or it's not uncommon in vehicle accidents in general. So we've been working on this for a few minutes and haven't quite gained access to the patient yet. They have the front seat laid back. They have everything cleared out behind the patient, and that's the next step, is trying to get to that steering wheel, unpin the patient, and move the patient to the back of the vehicle and out, because this is the best way to gain entry and to get the patient out of the vehicle to try to get patient care as soon as possible.
I'm Erin Wilson, standing here with Battalion Chief Coulter Tate from Owensboro Fire Department. What kind of training did you guys have going on today out here?
So today and this week what we're doing is extrication training, learning how to access victims that have been involved in accidents. Specifically, these scenarios are for vehicles that have run underneath a trailer or a tank car, and those sorts where we're not able to access the patient through the normal means, going through the doors, or actually having to go through the rear of the vehicle.
Okay, and so why is this so important for you all to know as a fire department out in different scenarios in Owensboro?
For us, it's good to know. We do extrication training every year. We practice on usually the normal techniques of vehicles on their sides, maybe a vehicle on its roof, vehicles on its wheels, going in the ways we usually do, but going through the doors. This scenarios are based off of stuff that we don't normally see, but we have the potential to see. So we're making aware all of our personnel of the new techniques and the techniques they can use to be able to access that patient and get that patient out in these situations.
All right, thank you so much. We
Thank you.
appreciate it.
We were riding from Chicago to Nashville. Owensboro is our 4th town, and what we're doing is we're raising money for cancer on our job. So we're trying, it's a charity. I run a charity called Ignite the Spirit. It's been around since '03. It was based on 9/11, so we helped them down in 9/11. There's 1,000 of our firemen went down and helped. So we wanted to come back to Chicago and create something that was there for families in need. So that's what Ignite the Spirit is. So this is kind of an extension of Ignite the Spirit. So we call it the Ignite the Spirit Cancer Fund. And this bike ride is what that's all about. Oh, it's awesome. It's a great feeling. I mean, we do it every day at work. You know, we're always there. We're there for the public, the citizens. And doing something like this to be able to reach out to our members on our job is a big deal. It's a big deal. It motivates, it inspires us all in one. To be there for them in their time of need is kind of what the charity is about. So now with this Ignite the Spirit Cancer Fund, we take it to the next level and are there for people that are dealing with this terrible disease. And I've had 5 friends that passed away in the last 6 years of cancer, and there's probably 5 others at home that are dealing with it now. Phenomenal reception, and every town we go in, we get the fire and police involved. And I mean, last night we had dinner at the Firehouse in Washington, Indiana. They donated a check for $500. Terry Holt took care of our rooms in Terre Haute, Indiana. tremendous reception. Getting to meet new people, see new faces, is kind of part of what this is about too. And getting our message out there is kind of what the ride is about. Because there's other departments across the country dealing with the same issues that we're dealing with. So we want to spread the message, and this is a really good way of doing that. Yeah, this is something that this is the first for this cause, and it's first of many. So we're going to continue to do this and do our parts to fight cancer. I mean, we've been to Boston, we've been to St. Louis, we went around Lake Michigan. So this is our 8th one that we've done for the charity. This is the first one we've done for the cancer. So going to Nashville was something that we talked about doing for a couple of years, and now next year, I mean, once this is over, we'll start planning for next year.
It's an honor. First of all, when we heard that they're doing this ride for firefighter cancer, I mean, it really hits home since we recently lost David McCready and Jeff Millay to firefighter occupational cancer. So we definitely support anything towards those efforts. And when we heard they had chosen Owensboro as a stopover, it was just truly an honor for us, and we're doing everything we can for them to pull out all the stops, make sure everybody knows what's going on, everybody supports this cause, and we're going to take them down to the station tonight, show them some hospitality, feed them, make sure they're well taken care of, and then take care of them when they get out of town in the morning. Oh, just like me, when they first heard about it, everybody was just overwhelmed that they were choosing cities across, between Chicago and Nashville that had lost personnel, and to choose Owensboro, it really means a lot to us. Yeah, so our support's just overnight. We helped with logistics of getting them set up with the hotel, making sure they had a nice place to stay. You don't really want to stay in fire stations and not be able to get a lot of sleep at night, so we set them up at a hotel. We set them up. The firefighters quickly got on board. You know how our guys like to cook anyway. Right. So they got that all taken care of, and going to feed them tonight. A little bit of nightlife activity. We'll show them around Owensboro a little bit while they're here, and then, but for these guys, it's to bed early and off on their bikes early in the morning. So OPD was really supportive about getting them through town, getting them here, and they'll get them out of town in the morning.
Over the last 2 days, AirVac Life Team Air Medicals came in, and they're providing us with a class from the American Heart Association called Pediatric Advanced Life Support. The class really touches on shock, respiratory, and cardiovascular diseases and complications that pediatrics and infants, children, adolescents may face. It's able to expand the knowledge of our personnel on these situations so they can recognize the signs and symptoms and be able to treat these patients in a timely manner. EMTs in their EMT course, pediatrics is touched on a little bit, but not much. This 16-hour course allows them to expand that knowledge and skills base. Some of the equipment you see in front of me, a cardiac monitor, they're learning about cardiac rhythms, how to recognize those, how to treat those, and also how to insert interosseous lines so we can give fluids and medications if need be, and also advanced airway skills, placing a laryngeal mask airway device, a King airway device, or endotracheal tube. That's where we're going to place some type of device into the patient's mouth, either into the trachea or blocking where the esophagus is, so we can introduce air directly into the lungs. So this class allows us to kind of hone our skills on treating pediatrics due to the fact that we don't see that many pediatric patients, especially very sick pediatric patients. Right now, this training we're providing to our personnel that are interested in it. I'm hopeful that over the next couple of years we'll be able to provide this training to the majority of our department. Right now, we have 2 paramedics, and then the rest of our personnel are emergency medical technicians. So we would like to expand the EMT's base knowledge on pediatrics and trauma and other medical care. We're having AirVac Life Team come in and do a lot of our continuing education. They get to see a lot more high acuity patients that are a lot sicker. so they can provide a better insight and more insight into how to recognize the signs and symptoms and treat these patients accordingly in a timely manner. Right now, this is the first time we've offered pediatric advanced life support to our personnel here at Owensboro Fire, and in December we'll be, for the first time, we'll be offering international trauma life support. It'll just concentrate on trauma in adults and peds, but being able to recognize the signs and symptoms, how to properly assess them, how to properly treat them, those patients, and get them to definitive health care. I'm getting a very good reaction. A lot of them, this is all new information to them. So they are learning a lot of new information in a short period of time, which what I'm hoping for and what I'm hearing is it's expanding their knowledge base, but they're looking for more knowledge in this field.